everyone, and welcome to Drilling Deeper on mining.com.au. Joining me today is Andrew Buxton, the Managing Director of Alice Queen. Andrew, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Good morning, Oriel. Yes, thanks for having us.
Now, Andrew, you've got some exciting news when it comes to your Viani project in Fiji. Can you update us?
Yeah, sure. Well, we just released an announcement, I think yesterday or a couple of days ago, that we've intersected the alteration zone in the target area for hole 3. Those samples are now on their way to the lab in Australia. And, again, we're liking what we're seeing in hole 3. And if the assays come in as planned, we're saying that the mineralisation, the gold mineralisation, should extend to about 300 metres below surface continuously. So that's very exciting for us. Those assays will tell the story in the end, but we're expecting a similar grade and a similar tenor to holes 1 and 2. So off to a really good start there at Viani.
What sort of timeline do you have around that? When do you expect those assays to come back?
We said in the announcement about 3 weeks from now. So we've put a bit of a rush on the better looking bits of core, as you'd imagine. So we're pretty excited to get those results 3 weeks from now.
It's a great time, obviously, with the price of commodities where they are. What is the next step in the timeline here? Yeah,
well, we've already announced in that same announcement that we're continuing straight on with hole number 4. This is exciting for us because we've now sort of, I think, demonstrated the continuity of the high-grade mineralisation to depth. And what we're doing now is we're stepping out laterally along that same vein, about 50 to 80 metres to the north-northwest. And if you imagine, your viewers can imagine this, high-grade epithermal gold comes in high-grade ore shoots. And those shoots are not necessarily cylindrical, they're more like a sort of a flat card. And the playing card analogy is not a bad one. They're sort of thinnish, but long, wide, and perhaps like a rectangle, like a card. And we expect that over 4 kilometres of strike, we could fit at least 50 of these vein sets into our anomalous gold zone at surface. So that's pretty exciting. And we did some back of the envelope numbers, Oriel, and we can easily see 50 to 60,000 ounces in each card, if that makes sense. So we're feeling pretty confident that we're going to get onto a really big discovery here.
Well, that's exciting, especially given the prices where they are at the moment. Now, Andrew, you've successfully overcome some infrastructure challenges in Fiji. How are you going on that front?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, look, Fiji is a great place to work. I've said previously in some of these interviews that it has a British-based, or it's formerly a British colony, so it has mining laws that are almost identical to Australia. And on that basis, we find it very easy to work there. Infrastructure challenges, not so bad. I mean, the road systems are not as good as Australia, of course. But otherwise, we are in a very remote place. Duckanimba prospect at Viani is 2 or 3 hours east of Sabu Sabu. So it's right out in the jungle, and we've had to build a couple of tracks and a camp out there. So that's taken us a bit of time. But look, the Fiji people are very friendly and very hard-working. So we've found it pretty good to work with.
Just before I let you go, Andrew, can you give us a quick update on Horn Island in Queensland?
Yeah, well, Horn Island's an interesting one. We've got over 500,000 ounces in resource there, half in indicated, half in inferred. And yeah, look, there's a lot of people sniffing around now to see if they can contribute to a syndicate type arrangement where we get that into production. We've had a couple of politicians from the new Liberal government come up and have a look at it recently in Queensland. So look, we're pretty excited about the gold price. Obviously underpins some of the work we did a few years ago on our original scoping study, and those numbers are now obviously off the charts. So look, I think there's a lot to talk about on Horn Island soon, but not just yet.
Amazing. Looking forward to any updates as they come. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Oriel. Thank you.